Hello, my name's Graham Rockingham. I'm music editor of the Hamilton Spectator, and we're here in the rehearsal space of Monster Truck, the Hamilton band that just won a Juno at Regina for Breakthrough Artist of the Year.
Breakthrough Group of the Year.
Breakthrough Group of the Year, that's right.
Yeah.
And you guys want to introduce yourself?
I'm Brandon,
The keyboard player?
keyboard player.
I'm Jeremy. I play guitar and sing.
Jeremy Weiderman?
And I'm John. I play bass and sing.
With the monster vocals.
You got it.
And
I'm Steve Kiley. I play drums.
Steve. So this is a unique rehearsal space. You're working on the release tour of your new album. Maybe we don't want to get into details for security reasons, but it's basically an old North End factory complex.
Yeah. It's kind of just a means to an end for us. We really were just kind of like walking around the area or driving around the area looking for anything that was vacant and available, and we got really lucky really quick. Within about a half an hour we found this place and found the manager, so to speak, and he kind of just hooked us up with this room and offered us a price, and we've been here for just over a year now.
Did any of the new album, it comes out May 28th. It's called Furiosity.
Mm-hmm.
If you listen to radio, you've probably already heard the lead single, which is Sweet Mountain River. I got it written down there.
The Sweet Mountain Water in the Sweet
In
Mountain.
yes. and did any of the songs come out of this place, or
All of them
Not
almost?
all
I mean,
of
the
them, but-
conception of some of them were born in the basement of our old house, which we all used to live in, which is our old jam space, and we got evicted from there because the guy we were paying the mortgage or the rent to wasn't paying the mortgage. So we got evicted near the end of 2011 before we went out on tour for the fall and the winter, and we had to find this place when we came back. So some of the songs were conceptualized and seeded in that house, and maybe even a little before that too. And then all the refining and all the real like pre-production and all like just arranging the entire record happened in this room. Yeah.
now there's 12 songs on the album plus a bonus track. I
Bonus
guess?
track on the vinyl and the digital sale of the iTunes.
And there's quite a mix on this album. It's not an album that all sounds the same. It's
No.
a little bit of blues rock, a little bit of boogie, a little bit of gothic metal, and all sorts of things. A little bit of soul too. And
Yeah, I mean, we tried to keep the core idea of what we'd done with the Brown EP and the first EP together, and maybe just expand on that a bit. It was really like it was intentional that the EPs were kind of single focused, and we wanted to expand upon that when we had the ability to, which is what we got to do with this record with all 12 songs. So we wanted to make sure it wasn't just like the EPs in one note and just hitting, the one kind of vibe, because you don't have time to really get interesting on an EP. So we did that with the record, with the full length.
this is your debut album.
Yeah.
You did really well with 2 EPs, which at the start you were giving away.
Yeah, we're still giving them away.
You still
for the
give it
record.
away?
Yeah.
And how important is this debut album to you guys? I mean, you won a Juno just off of 8 songs pretty much on EP.
Yeah.
So how important is the album?
It couldn't really be set up any better. It's hugely important, and this with the unexpected success we had with the EPs and the unexpected Juno win like a month before it comes out. It's a really great setup, and we took the time to actually make sure that this album was going to be great because we knew how important it was, that it was a really diverse and great album.
Yeah. The other thing too, we canceled the full length attempt 2 years ago, or maybe even more than that, because we wanted to do a full length, but we kind of realized we didn't have the means or the ability to do it at that time. We got halfway through tracking, we scrapped it. Then we went to LA and we did did full production, got to mixing, and scrapped that one too. So it's been a really concerted effort to make sure that when we did finally unleash a full-length record, that it was everything everyone hoped it would be and more, and that's what I believe we've done.
And you returned to the producer who did your last EP.
The Brown EP,
too.
yeah. He's such a good friend
Eric
now.
Ratz.
Yes. I mean, he was a friend of mine before we did the Brown EP, and now he's a close friend of everyone's, and I think he's got a big spot in our heart now, just due to his efforts, and he's just such a fun guy to hang with and work with, and now
Well, as well, since we did that Brown EP, he made some really big records that really boosted his resume.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes our record even that much more impactful. That his resume has grown.
And his experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what were those records again?
He made the latest Big Wreck album. He made
Big Wreck, right?
Albatross, yeah.
the latest Billy Talent one.
Great record.
Cancer Bats.
Yeah, the Cancer Bats one. So he's, we always joke with him that he's the chart crusher because he has so many singles on the charts.
At any given moment, he's had at times 3 songs in the top 10 in the rock charts. So he's now chart crusher.
And you got to tour with Billy Talent just recently.
Yeah.
Is it true you guys played floor hockey on the floor of the Bell Center of Montreal?
These two did.
These two?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I don't know. They do it every time. Every
Yeah.
hockey
Billy
arena.
Talent does?
Yeah, every hockey arena. They have a road case full of hockey sticks and like gear and nets.
Mhm.
Or no, they use the nets. Actually, they use the NHL nets. They use like Habs nets when we play on the Bell Center. And they just set up and we throw sticks and then we play. There's you got a bench and then 4 guys aside and
Gets intense.
rip hockey
Gets
for like
intense?
2 hours. Oh yeah, man, I had chest pains.
You bonded with those guys, Billy Talent.
Oh,
Yeah, they're
You seem to be
great.
really comfortable
Oh
with
yeah,
them.
we like those guys a lot. We get along really well.
So the next, wait a minute. Did I hear that something about the first pitch of the Blue Jays, opening pitch? Of the
It was
Blue Jays?
a possibility. Wow, you're really tied in there. Eh?
Yeah.
It was a possibility that Steve was going to go out and throw the first pitch in the game last week, and
Because he's the athletic one.
he
Look at
look at his arms.
Tell by the tattoo.
Yeah. But yeah,
Then Bruno Mars came into town. And,
Ah.
Was it?
No.
I think it was one of those things where they had a couple people in mind, and we got back a little late, and so he didn't get to do it. But I think it's the thing where, I mean, there's like, what is it, like 600 games a year,
So maybe,
he'll
maybe.
probably, yeah.
You guys Jays fans and
Yeah, we're
Well,
more Leafs fans.
Yeah, we're hockey fans.
Well,
I
hockey
heard
fans,
somebody's
sorry.
No offense to
a
baseball.
Habs fan.
I'm a Habs
This
fan.
guy.
You fool.
We're a new. Well, the way things are going so far, we both look like
Yeah,
fools
yeah,
in the building,
okay,
but
okay.
we're actually, the Jays thing is kind of cool because they started to really get behind the song, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, we're looking forward to getting to
Definitely
the Jays
going to
game.
games this
Yeah,
year.
definitely
Yeah,
going to
we're gonna go
games,
to
and
games,
we're real excited about that support. And anytime any sports team gets behind the song, it's really a great. Real strength for us, just getting to new people, new fans on it.
Now the album comes out May 28th. Curiosity. You're going to be on the road in the States when that comes out with
Yeah.
with a
It's
metal
weird.
band.
It's very weird that we won't
New
be
metal.
home.
New metal.
Yeah, it's weird that we won't be home for that, but
Yeah.
we'll be hearing about it from our family and friends, and when we get home, we'll be supporting it heavily here too. So
The band you're touring with is Seven Dust
Yeah.
and Pop Evil.
and
Yeah.
Pop Evil.
Yeah.
So you think the sounds will mesh because you guys are Riff Rock.
I think we get away with anything.
Yeah,
I
you
think.
do
I
too.
mean, we're playing at Edgefest this summer with the Lumineers.
Wow.
So it's like you gotta make it work no matter what. And that's not to say you're gonna change the way you perform, but I think nowadays too, every music listener is so diverse and they like a lot of genres, and we've always seemed to have a lot of luck with all the fans and all the music fans that we've played in front of thus far. So we're nothing but hopeful.
A lot of people see Riff Rock coming back. You and the Sheepdogs in this country in particular. Is it what is it about Riff Rock? Why you guys? I mean, that's the one thing that joins this album together. These monster riffs from Monster Truck out of your guitar with Brandon's keyboard backing it up and gluing it all together.
The first thing, I mean, if at least from our perspective, like that's how we really we push it forward is like there's a lot of unison going on, bass, guitar, organ playing the same riff, so it hits people pretty powerfully. But as far as coming back, that's yet to be seen. I sense it, and I think we all sense it with the fan bases that we play in front of and the people that come and see the shows and they come and talk to us afterwards. They're very excited and very hopeful that this kind of like this more kind of classic rock oriented style of rock is coming to the forefront a little bit more. But I don't know, it's the kind of thing where it's like, we're not overly concerned about it. We do what we do, and if that happens to be the next kind of thing that goes on, I think I wouldn't be surprised about it, but we'll have to just wait and see about that one.
Riff Rock's cool in a way that there's like it's another melody to catch on to as well as the vocals. Like the guitar line or the riff that's happening. You know, like sometimes it can be just as catchy as the vocal melody that's going over top of it.
Which is our our intention most of the time. Right?
Yeah, so that I think is a really cool thing about riff rock. That
Where do the riffs come from? All your guitar, or
No, well, I mean,
The blues.
the blues?
yeah, like I'm in the pentatonic scale almost exclusively.
Yeah.
We actually had a joke about the one song that we wrote near the end of this when we were finishing up. We had almost had all the songs to the record, and then we wrote. Harvey came up with a great song, basically that he kind of formulated the whole song on his own and kind of brought it in, and we just worked out all the transitions and everything. But it had a major scale in it.
Which one's that?
That's My Love Is True, the last song on the record. And
Soulful sauce. Yeah.
But the funny thing about that is it was the first time we actually, because Brando recognizes it immediately too, because he's got a great feel for the different keys and shifting. Because I mean, we're in a kind of a different tuning, so working together with him, our language gets a little screwed up sometimes based on what we're trying to, communicate to each other. But he was immediately like, "Oh, we're in the major scale," and he's aware of it immediately, because all of a sudden now, I mean, our hands get so trained for specific movements and boxes and regions on our instruments, and so for him to all of a sudden be using these keys that he doesn't usually use, it's immediately apparent, so that's fun.
John, one thing you notice about Monster Truck right off the bat is this huge voice of yours.
Thanks, man.
And did you take training in that? I mean, how do you keep? That must be stressful.
I've been
and
yelling my whole life.
You've been yelling.
He comes from a loud family.
I had an English family, man. Everyone I know who's got an English family is the loudest people in the world. We've been yelling since we were kids. My dad's loud. My brother's louder than I am. And, I just used to scream in bands all the time.
And
So I guess I learned to sing from my gut without really knowing it.
well, that's important because it takes the weight off those vocal cords.
Oh,
I guess.
absolutely, man.
Do you have to take care of that voice after? I mean, after a show,
Oh,
you
yeah,
must
man.
be hoarse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
Yeah.
gotten more important
More important.
as of late. But, yeah, just don't drink booze.
That's a rule for you. For next time you're singing, you're not allowed to drink booze.
That's
easy,
why I don't
just
sing.
don't do it. Yeah, and when you have a day off on tour, then you get drunk and you have your day off, and then that's what kills everyone. And people think, oh, I got to do this Manuka honey, and then I'm gonna drink 9 beers. Well, you just screwed yourself.
Yeah, there's lots of little tricks, but there's almost nothing you can do to repair the damage once it's done. So there's things you can do to help
Hydration.
Hydration, lots of hydration, and just lots of trying to eat right and get rest is super important.
Yeah.
Like whenever my voice starts getting hoarse, it's mostly due to the fact that we haven't been sleeping as much as we like to. So
Well, you
Mine's
guys,
'cause I was drinking.
you guys are all a little bit grown up now. I mean, you're all over 30, as you made the point at the Junos,
Yeah.
and this. So have you? And you're from other bands, St. Alvia, Reason. You, is it just experience and knowing that you have to be good the next day?
That's definitely like a huge part of it. But I think the bigger side of things is, at least from my perspective, and I'm sure everyone has their different thoughts about this, but like I kind of given up on trying to make a living out of playing music. It's so difficult. You feel like you're beating your head against the wall a lot of the time. And so now to be given the opportunity to actually have a real shot at like making, I dare to say career, but at least making a job out of it for a little while. It's a real grateful feeling, and it's something you don't really want to take for granted, especially once you've worked this hard to get to this point. 15 years of work to get your feet firmly planted, and even as firmly planted as they are, they're never firmly planted in this industry. So we just try and really take it, to just try and be really grateful for the success we've had and the help that we've gotten, and a little bit of luck that's come our way, and got to protect it.
Luck. You got tour with Alison Ching across Canada.
That wasn't
Alison
luck.
Ching?
That was all us.
That was all us. How big is that for you?
It's huge. It's huge. Canadian tours are weird because they're always so short. So as soon as you start to get feeling comfortable, it's over. But that's one that we know is going to be great for us. That's one of those ones where we know their fan base is definitely going to be into our band too, because there's a pretty good crossover. You get that feel that they're going to really be into our music if they're into their music. So
We don't do too bad in Canada right now.
Yeah.
So some people will probably be coming
Yeah.
to see us anyway.
That's an exciting idea. That's an exciting thing for us too. Is we've only dabbled in going, to the West Coast and seeing what kind of impact we've made with the radio singles and the small bit of touring that we've done.
CFOX loves you out there.
Yeah, and the other stations have been giving us lots of support. Like radio has really gotten behind the band, and so whenever we go to these places and see the kind of momentum that we've gained there, it's always a little bit like, whoa, we have the same amount of people at this show that we do in Hamilton, and that's kind of always like an exciting.
When you get out of the country, you say, well, we're from Toronto. Or do you...
No.
People have heard of Hamilton?
Close to Toronto.
I don't care if they've heard of Hamilton.
Yeah.
We say Hamilton. We're not from Toronto. Bands always do that. They come from Oshawa. They say they're from Toronto.
Yeah.
They come from St. Catharines. They say they're from Toronto. We're from Hamilton, close to Toronto. That's the way we bridge the gap. It's like because people have heard Toronto. It's easy to say we're outside of Toronto, but we're not a Toronto band, and I think it's not hugely important, but it is important. And it's an easy one. It's an easy distinction to make. So
We're not liars.
Well, so many of my friends too are like, man, don't do what every Hamilton band does. Say you're from Toronto. I'm like, don't worry.
It's a cheap move. It's a cop out to just get through the conversation quicker. And it's like
I think it gives people in other parts of the world an idea of where you're from.
Yeah. So does this place.
But it's okay. I mean, whatever. To each his own.
I mean, what says more about Hamilton than rehearsing here in an old factory space in the North End?
Yeah.
Maybe when we move to Toronto, we all have a condo. We have a nice rehearsal
God.
space down there.
Yeah. That's it. Thank you guys for the chat.
You're very
and
welcome.
Good luck on the coming tours. Good luck on the record. May 28th, the album's called Furiosity. 12 new tracks, 13 if you buy the vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a big one. I've been listening to. I've got a sneak copy, and it's terrific.
If they give it to me, I want to hear it.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Great.